Hiya friends, today we're going to be talking about recitatives, singing Mozart recitatives. In my forthcoming book, The Path of the Singer, I will have a chapter going into great detail on in a sort of more structured sense about recits. And I urge you all to go out and buy it when it's published. I'll be telling you all about it here because learning to sing recit well and understanding the difference between an accompagnato recit and an accompanied recit, where you've got the whole orchestra behind you, and a secco recit, a dry recit, recitativo, when you have just a harpsichord or maybe a cello or continua, is very important. There are many things that we have to get to grips with straight away. In an accompanied recit, you have to be obedient to the rhythm. In a secco recit with a harpsichord, you don't. You are just using the words as the primary driver for the music. You have to follow the notes, etc. Although you can decorate a lot, but in secco recits, you are going for the meaning of the words, most important. A lot of debate. Should you sing recit, secco, dry, recitativo, or should you parlando? It should be almost quasi parlando, but you use your support. Just like when I'm talking now, I'm using my support. And once you understand that distinction, the debate goes away. You're not singing it. You're not questo è buona or lasciala. I'm going to be going through the recit here of Don Giovanni before the graveyard scene. You're not overly singing, but no, you questa è buona or lasciala cercar. Che bella notte. I'm not speaking it either. I've got my support engaged. There is a natural rhythm in the words that you're going for. And there is a natural way of singing it with your sung voice in a spoken quasi-parlando fashion connected to your support. That's what we're going for. I'll demonstrate it. Now, phrasing. There are so many different ways to phrase recit that it would be beyond the scope of an hour video for me to talk about. And every time you sing an opera or every time you work with conductors or coaches, they will teach you more palettes, more colors that you can use. It's your job, if somebody says, hey, sing this phrase of recit like this, to store it not just for that phrase, but for another phrase that you might be singing in another opera, in another production, on another day. Basically, normally when you sing recit, just like when you speak, you go into the meaning of the phrase. Normally when you speak a phrase, there is a high point, an accented moment, and you would land on that moment. Yes. So we're going to be, as I said, we're going to be doing the Don Giovanni recit. Che bella notte. Well, I'm going to be going into Che bella notte. È più chiaro del giorno. That one has a sort of a double dip, yeah, a double rise. Sembra fatta per girazzonzo a caccia di ragazze. But you see, I'm going into the phrase and coming out of the phrase. Now, if I was hesitant, I might be questa è buona. Or lasciala cercare. Che bella notte. I might be hitting the beginning of the phrase and going away. If I was being confident, questa è buona, or lasciala cercar, I might be going to the end. You see what I mean? It depends on the emotional state of the person who is giving the delivery as to how you phrase. But as I said, I have a whole smorgasbord in my secret palette of colors that I will be choosing. Articulation is really important, and a singer that really hasn't made a study of good Italian is going to struggle always to make their recitativo sound idiomatic and authentic. We talked a lot about phrasal doubling because it really sort of like sets you apart. The idea that you can double a consonant after a preposition, you can double a consonant after some adjectival coloring of the sentence. The understanding that we are not wedded to chapter 1, how to sing Italian, that double consonants are doubled and single consonants are long lines. It just doesn't work that way. Italian is so much more flavoursome. We are the understanding that the basic rules of singing in good Italian are only starter guide. There's only a starter guide. The idea of long and short vowels, open and closed vowels, of voiced consonants and unvoiced consonants, because recitativo, it's expression. If we're going to sing an aria, Let me turn the volume up. Oh, sorry. This is gotta cut this bit. We're gonna be singing. Te viene alla finestra. So we're singing Don Giovanni Serenade, and we got all that beautiful legato. We're in singing mode. We don't want to then be singing. Questa è buona. Unless we choose to, unless there's an emotional reason to it. The recitativo is different to the piece, to the sung pieces. Yeah. So much more to say. I've got all my notes here that are written from my book. I really, really stress you to get it when it comes out. Let's look into it. Yes. So we've got the first chord. Questa è buona, or lasciala cercar. Now, this is a huge wretched. This is a huge moment in the opera. By this time in the opera, Don Giovanni is kind of losing his mind. It's late at night. He's not had any success this day. He's basically losing it, and he's just had this incredible experience when he's had to flee from a bad situation. So whatever I do here will not be what I would do on stage. On stage, that laugh would be amplified. Or even, it would be not, by amplified, I don't mean louder or longer. I mean more internally intense, yeah? So take that as read. I like, because the audience haven't seen me for a while, they've been bored sensitive with all the ensemble with Don Leporello and Selena and Don Elvira and all that stuff. I'm being daft. Of course, they've really enjoyed that moment, but they've not seen me, Don Giovanni, for quite a while. I like to make a big gesture. Questa è buona, or lasciala cercar. Because that allows me then to go, che bella notte. E più chiara del giorno, sembra fatta per Giratonzo a caccia di ragazze. Yeah, it allows me then to have a certain element of pacing. Questa è buona, or lasciala cercar. What am I saying there? I'm saying this is good. Now let them look for me. Yeah, I got away from them. You'll never catch me here. I'm in the graveyard. I've leapt over the wall, as I say later, and I'm in this safe space with all the dead bodies. Yeah? So, as I said, because I've got the freedom to tell the story in this recitativo, I can do this. Now, the conductor might sort of put me in a straitjacket. He might say, no, Mike, you can't, but he's down there. You can't stop the performance. And that's what I like about recitativo. It allows me to be expressive in my own way. Of course, I want to be collaborative, and if the conductor can feed me. The last time I did Don Giovanni, I had James Gillett conducting. Brilliant. You'll know his name, and he really had fantastic things to say. So of course we ping ponged each other's ideas and came to somewhere where we felt good about it. But essentially, I want to feel my own emotions here as the Don and run with them. Now, one of the most boring ways to sing a recit would be this. Questa è buona, or lasciala cercar, che bella notte è più chiara del giorno, sembra fatta per Giratonzo. It's all the same pacing. So if I go, questa è buona, or lasciala cercar, che bella notte è più chiara del giorno, sembra fatta per Giratonzo a caccia di ragazze. I'm in control of some pacing, and this isn't necessarily the way I would do it. I'm overdoing it to make a point, yeah? I'm going forward, I'm going back. I refer you to the video we made about the direction of music. When you're stuck with a static tempo, the music still has a direction forward and back, but you have little control over it, apart from in music that can have rubato, more later romantic music. In recitativo, you can absolutely control it, and you should control it. Now, you don't want to make false accents. And this is the thing about should you sing recit or should you speak it. If you are not really on your voice, you'll be, oh, lasciala cercar, because you're not engaged your support. So just as I would have if I was speaking a German operetta on stage, I would be, all my text would be with a fully engaged and buoyant support and a free solar plexus. If I've got my support engaged, it stops me doing false accents I don't want. Oh, lasciala cercar, yeah? Oh, lasciala cercar. Che bella notte. They're all engaged with my support, but I'm not doing any ugly accents without realizing it. Yeah? Very important, that. It's something you hear a lot, and something when I'm coaching, I hear that false accent way. Now let's look at some of these texts. Yeah? Sembra fatta. Sembra fatta. There's only one F between sembra and fatta. But of course, sembra fatta. Sembra fatta. I'm not going to throw away that F. It's necessary. Otherwise, they might not know what I'm singing. You know, there's a lot of different words. Could be atta. Yeah? They need to have the sembra fatta. Per girasonso. Per girasonso isn't an important word. It should be zonzo. So I'm going to sing it. I learned it years ago as an unvoiced Z, and I struggle sometimes to remember that it's a voiced Z. Per girasonso. I'm going to go through with that, yeah? Because what am I trying to get to? È più chiaro del giorno. It's brighter than daylight. Sembra fatta. It seems to be made for wandering around hunting for girls. Yeah? A caccia di ragazze. I don't want to put so much spice in my singing. It's that you lose the sense. So, per girasonso a caccia di ragazze. So my pacing is going towards the important word. And I'm landing on it. Che bella notte, è più chiara del giorno, sembra fatta per girasonso a caccia di ragazze. È tardi, oh, ancora non sono 2 delle notte. Is it late? Yeah. Oh, it's not yet 2 o'clock. And by having that moving into the ragazze, I can then bounce from there. I can either end the sentence, a caccia di ragazze, end of. È tardi? The question, is it late? Oh, ancora non sono 2 delle notte. Or I can go, a caccia di ragazzi, è tardi, oh, ancora non sono. So I can let the audience forget, oh, he wants to go hunting for girls and he's talking about something which isn't really very important, 2 delle notte, because now I'm going to go into the important. Avrei voglia un po' di saper come è finito l'affare tra Leporello e Donna Elvira. Se hai avuto giudizio. Now I'm going into what's important, yeah? I want to know how it has happened, the affair between Donna Elvira and Leporello. Has he managed it well? Yeah. So again, I'm alive to this point. And if I've got the options, if I've sung it a million different ways in my studio, wherever my studio may be, then I'm alive to the possibilities in the moment. The important thing is that I've got those possibilities. The important thing is that I'm not singing Italian as some foreign language that I have to remember to do this and do that with. Every time I don't sing a Mozart opera, because my Italian is bad in terms of speaking, I can speak Italian. All of us singers can speak Italian, but we don't speak Italian well unless you make a study of the language. It's not like my German, and I've never lived in Italian. I've never lived in Italy. I will forget whether it's di ragazze or di ragazzi. Now, I go back and I refresh every single time, even though I've sung Don Giovanni 200 times or so. I don't know how many times, 20 different productions. I will forget the important words, and we can't forget the important words. The word endings have got to be correct. So I will go back in and I'll make sure there's no ambiguity in my brain. Refresh every single time so that I can have absolutely no worry that I'll be singing the wrong words, that I'll be singing as if I am, come italiano, as if I am an Italian person. And then it gives me the freedom then to give all my brain for the meaning of the word. It goes without saying that you need to translate every word. You can use the Castell translations, Nico Castell translations are absolutely brilliant. You can use Google Translate, but you need to understand how you need to be able to conjugated verbs so that you need to know if it's like a subjunctive. If I will be doing it, it's going to happen in the future. I'm expressing desire, whatever, and it's got the accent on the end, the grave on the end, or whether it's a past tense or whatever. You need to know what the prepositions mean. You need to know what little words mean in between, so you have absolute fluidity of conscious thought when you're singing this. Yeah, let's start it again. Ha 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 ha! Big laugh. Questa è buona, or lasciala cercar. Because we're a text person, we know that lasciala has this beautiful opportunity to do the unvoiced. Or lasciala cercar. We can use that sh and cercar for expressive purposes. Che bella notte è più chiara del giorno, sembra fatta per girasonso a caccia di ragazze. È tardi, oh, ancora non sono 2 della notte. Avrei voglia un po' di saper come è finito l'affare tra Leporello e Donna Elvira. Se li ha avuto giudizio. So we talked in the past, or we will talk, and it's going to be in the book because I've already written a chapter about cadencing. I want you to feel where these harmonies are going underneath, so that it's leading you to this. He's going to come in now. Adesso, yeah. He's going to come. Leporello comes in. Alfin vuole che io faccia un precipizio. Leporello's going to come in, and I want to open the door, metaphorically speaking, for him to come into this story. Yeah? And if I don't understand how my cadence is working, a far tra Leporello e Donna Elvira, se li ha avuto giudizio, plonk. It's going to be a clunk him coming in. Now, maybe that's what you want. Maybe that would help the drama along. But if you don't do it with a conscious intention, 9 times out of 10, it won't. 9 times out of 10, it'll hinder his ability to enter the flow of the story. And this is a flow. This story flows it. This story should feel like it's not happening by accident. It's happening really. It's a real conversation that's happening in this rarefied, totally artificial way of singing at each other rather than speaking at each other. Okay, there's so much more we can talk about recits. And the last video I put out was me going through Susanna's aria when we were talking about that very different recitative situation. You want to see recitatives as an opportunity for you to demonstrate your full range of colours, but you also want to see them as a way for you to be a little bit restrained. This is not about Mike Jewis showing you how well he can sing recit. It's about Mike Jewis, for me, showing you how well I can tell the story. All right, because and you know, the beginning of the opera. Leporello vesei son qui per mi disgrazia voi son qui. The very first recit that I'm going to sing, che domanda da bestia, il vecchio. That's a quiet moment. I'm going to want to take away all of my sort of histrionics, all of my word painting, and literally just let the situation sit. Yeah, we've got to have that ability to read the story and read the situation of the story. Gosh, there is so much to talk about recit. I hope on this video that I've shown you that Recitative is the ultimate opportunity for us to really play and to find colours and to have fun singing. I love singing recit. Yeah, I love singing over the page. You know, when he starts to speak, where is it? Oh, vecchio buffonissimo. Ti dico questa sera la tenno a cena meco. I can't remember the words again. Sorry, I don't want to sing in bad Italian. But you know, we got so many opportunities to play with the character here. We are children on stage. I've got an 8-year-old daughter, and she loves to play imagination games, and I'm a 50-year-old bloke. This is our opportunity to play on stage. So don't throw them away. Embrace your recitative and have a ball with them. That's what I got for you. Thank you so much for sticking around. Like, share, comment on this video. I love comments because it helps Google know who to send them to. It really helps me get the message out. Look out for my book, The Path of the Singer, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.